No rolling.
Hi, I'm Amy Ayala.
And I'm Ethan Millman, and this is Sports Face-Off. In recent news, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Arizona Cardinals with a final score of 24-3.
Beat down.
And also in recent MLB news, the San Francisco Giants defeated the Detroit Tigers in the World Series, marking their second in 2 years, and also in 3 years, and marking the end of the MLB season.
Ethan, you mean sweat out of the World Series. Sweat. How embarrassing.
Just like the LA Lakers were defeated and swept
Don't
by the
even
Mavericks.
bring that up. You know, it's a different team, and this year I got Dwight Howard, I got Kobe Bryant back, I got Steve Nash. I had no point guard then, so please don't bring that up because it made me cry. It made me cry. No, you know what? Respect my feelings, Ethan, and respect my Lakers. Because this year we're going for number 17 as the NBA kicks off tonight, and we have the Heat and the Celtics facing off, and Ray Allen going back to meet his former team. And the Lakers kicking off with, unfortunately, the Dallas Mavericks. That's ironic.
Watch them lose again.
You mean win?
Also in recent NBA news, former Oklahoma City Thunder player James Harden was traded to the Houston Rockets as they got as the Thunder had gotten future prospects as well as new rookie Jeremy Lamb. What do you think about this trade, Amy?
I was shocked. And I was disappointed not only in the OKC management, but in James Harden, because he was Sixth Man of the Year last year, Ethan, and I feel that he's going to regret the decision of not taking the first proposal that the OKC gave him, because he essentially left to the Rockets for $4 million.
Do you think it was a good trade overall, though, James Harden aside?
I think OKC won, because yes, the Rockets got James Harden, but I think that we don't know what player Jeremy Lamb is going to be yet. We know that Kevin Martin is a scorer. Even when it's hurt, it changes things. But when he's healthy, he's a good scorer. And then when you see Jeremy Lamb, he's a very good prospect, and that was from the first round. And you don't know what type of player he's going to turn into, but he has a lot of talent and a lot of potential to be a really good player in this league.
Well, it's just you say that Jeremy Lamb's going to be a good prospect, and you're saying is that this is going to be a future trade, but how much in the future are they looking into, considering that James Harden is not that old a player?
It's not that. I think, yes, it's a future thing, and the team needs to find cohesiveness. But just like, it's just a future player. I don't know how he's going to work out with the team, but he's a good prospect.
Just they traded away one of their big three. He was Sixth Man of the Year.
Kevin Martin's a scorer. Kevin Martin's a scorer, and then
Kevin Martin's old.
And you can't blame the OKC management for saying that they wanted to give Harden away. He decided to go away because he didn't want to take that first contract. And in return, don't you think that OKC got what they wanted for Harden? They could have got someone better.
So.
They could have got someone better, but
Harden was going to be a superstar with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and now they get Jeremy Lamb, which I think is going to end up being it's a real gamble. It could go either way.
It's a gamble. But what if that gamble pays off? Then he looks like a genius. The management looks like a genius.
I don't have faith in Jeremy Lamb. None that I would have had in James Harden.
You can't have that much faith in a rookie, but I think he's going to prove us wrong. And James Harden, I think how he messed up in the playoffs really bad. Not in the playoffs, but in the finals. He did not have...
Well, you have to keep in mind this was their first finals, and he was up against LeBron James, Dwayne Wade.
But if you played that bad, how could you go to management and say, I want a max contract? You can't do that.
Well, I mean, I think that he was a good player. I don't know if max contract, but I think he deserved more money than he was given.
$55.4 million doesn't sound good for Harden.
Sounds good for anyone, but
good for anyone. And he decided to leave for $4 million more to the Houston Rockets. And going back to that, you have to think about how the Rockets are going to look now.
So, what do you think this trade is going to do for the Thunder, and what do you think it's going to do for the Rockets?
For Thunder, I'm not sure yet because I don't know. I know what type of player Kevin Martin is, and I don't know what type of player Jeremy Lamb is going to be. But for the Rockets, I think it's going to take a lot of time for them to find cohesiveness in between James Harden and Jeremy Lin. Because Jeremy Lin, I think he's more of an off-the-dribble player more than he is a straight jump shooter.
And going back to Kevin Martin, I don't know why they traded for him. He does not fit into the Thunder at all. They're filled with fast athletes, and Harden was one of those athletes. But Martin's an older guy.
He's not that old. He's an athlete.
He's old enough that he can't keep up with Kevin Durant when he's going down the stretch.
But he doesn't have to go against Kevin Durant now. He's on his own team. Now you have to focus how you handle Kobe, and I don't think you want. And honestly, I think the OKC opened up the West by them trading James Harden. It was a mistake.
But it'll still be hard for the Lakers, but yes, it was opened.
But what do you think about the Rockets now?
They're going to be a pretty good team. It's just now they're going to be a pretty good team. They seem to be showing that they're building their team pretty well. They have Jeremy Lin. They have now they have Harden. It'll take a little bit. I think that as we were saying earlier before we even filmed, that we were talking about how it'll take a little bit for Lin and Harden to get used to each other. If they can, they will be a tough team. But I've seen way harder. I've seen way harder adjustments not even pay off.
I don't see
easier adjustments.
I don't see them meshing together. Because Harden, when you see him play, do you see him more? I know he could be a kick-out shooter.
I find him to shoot first, and I think Lin is too, which is a problem.
But he handles the ball a lot, and so does Jeremy Lin. He's a dribble. That's how he makes points. He's not James. How good is Jeremy Lin at shooting?
If Lin establishes himself as a point guard and not as that shoot first point guard, they will play well. But I don't see that happening.
And he has to establish himself. I mean, he signed a max contract. He played well at the end of the season. Jeremy Lin was no one. How do we even know he's going to pay off as a point guard? We don't know. We don't know his potential. It could have been a fluke.
I think it was a fluke. That's all I'm saying about that.
If MSG power, then you go to Rockets and you don't know. But, the Rockets made that decision, and if Jeremy Lin doesn't turn out to be right, they have a good player to build a team on in James Harden. And as for OKC, that's why the NBA season's kicking off today, for us to see and for us to start analyzing what type of team and what the West is going to look like as well as the East. So I know many fans are disappointed that they haven't been able to watch games, but it will be aired on TNT tonight. Laker game starts at 7:30. Heat game starts at 5:30. So thanks for tuning in to our third episode, and we hope you guys come back next week.
We'll see you soon.